What is this emotional intelligence then? What is this thing called emotional intelligence? About 4 years ago, I was doing a program to a similar group in Hawaii, similar to this. You see, Jim, they do their programs like this in Hawaii. Just wanted to mention that. And actually, they were generous enough to bring my wife along with me. I just wanted to mention that as well. I'm not going to be invited back next year, I can tell. But we're flying over. We arrive in Honolulu at 9 a.m. And the female, we get picked up by a female cab driver. Not so surprising. Beside her was a 7 or 8-year-old daughter. Now, my wife and I, we had a 1 and 3-year-old daughter at the time. And it was obvious to us that we were out of our element as parents when that 7 or 8-year-old daughter said, "Mommy, where are all the idiots today?" You know, we thought we must be overtired or something. But her mom replies, "Relax, dear. They only come out when your dad is driving." And to me, this story illustrates everything about emotional intelligence. How we see the world. Is that someone cutting us off? Are they an idiot? Or maybe they're going to the hospital for an emergency. How we see the world directly impacts our behavior, doesn't it? And our behavior impacts the important people around us. How many thoughts do you think we have a day? This is the interactive part of the program. According to research, we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. Actually, a female colleague of mine tells me men only have 1 thought a day. 60,000 times, right? People are actually in their own little bubbles of thinking. Every one of us, right now, we're in our little bubbles of thinking. And the high performer among us is the person who can step outside of their bubble, honor it, but step outside and tune into what other people are feeling and thinking. You know, we do studies of high-performing CEOs at the U.S. Navy, commanding officers. You know what we find? They don't use command and control. They actually are very good at using emotional intelligence. Step outside, tune into what other people are feeling and thinking, because here's the deal. You can command and control. Think of this with your staff and your team. You can command and control anyone for 6 or 8 months, but at some point they stop listening. They tune out. If I could have you walk away with anything today, it's look at yourself. Look at where can I get better. That's what I love about working with Olympic athletes or professional athletes and teams. Is the best athletes are not afraid to say, how can I get better? How can I get better? Where's my edge to be found? You know, I work with the Orlando Magic of the NBA, and their coach, Doc Rivers. Whether you're a basketball fan or not, you might know that he was fired. They had a horrible start to the season. Doc Rivers 2 years ago won NBA Coach of the Year. Do you know what Doc Rivers is doing right now? I mean, on top of announcing on ABC every Sunday. You know what else he's doing? He is going and traveling to colleges and other NBA teams and watching practices to pick up what he can to become a better coach. That's what it's all about. Can you be big enough? You know, can you be big enough? And this is what self-awareness is all about. Can you be big enough to say, I'm still here to learn. How can I get better? Organizations and small teams today, more than anything, it's the swallowing of truth. You know, you feel or your staff feels put down, let down, or shut down. And if they don't either have the environment available to step in and speak their truth, or if they're just not feeling strong enough to do it, you're missing something, both on the business edge side and on the people edge side. Good ideas that aren't being articulated because there's fear. But more importantly, if people start to feel, like if they start to kind of swallow truth, you know what happens? Residue builds up on that relationship, and pretty soon you can't work with that person. Do you know, if I studied each of you, you and your spouse, today, we could predict with 94% accuracy. That's huge predictive validity. 94% accuracy. Which of you would still be together in a happy, loving relationship 5 years from today based on one EQ competency? Do you know what that is? How skillfully we air our grievances. You see, in every relationship you're in, at home, with your team and staff, you're going to have tension. You're going to have complexity. And your ability as a leader of those folks to create what I call a container of safety and inspiration so they can step in and speak their truth to you means that you will decrease the residue, and now you'll be able to really innovate, really think of new ideas of how you can serve the people you serve more effectively. It drives me nuts. We work with sales organizations all over the world. And people sometimes don't get it. Research is crystal clear. People buy people, ideas, then product, not the other way around. I see training that's focused on product, new ideas of doing things, but not people. You are the reason that things will grow in this upcoming year to get to another level. You know, it's all about getting better, getting your skills better. And I'm not even certain you even need better and more skills. You know what to do. It's about, can I stay motivated? Can I really kind of, get to the next level because I'm getting through those levels of fear